Welcome to AI Products Weekly News. Our lead story today marks a significant milestone in the evolution of artificial intelligence, as Meta Superintelligence Labs reveals its latest breakthrough. Meta has officially unveiled Muse Spark, a natively multimodal reasoning engine that represents a fundamental shift in how large-scale models operate. Unlike previous iterations that relied on separate models for different tasks, Muse Spark is designed as a central orchestration layer, capable of managing multiple subagents to execute complex, multi-step workflows. One of the most talked about features of this release is what Meta calls contemplating mode. This architecture allows the system to pause and evaluate its own logic, facilitating long-horizon planning and reasoning over highly sensitive private data. By integrating this engine across the entire Meta ecosystem, the company is positioning Muse Spark as the definitive personal superintelligence, capable of handling everything from intricate schedule management to high-level strategic coding tasks with unprecedented autonomy. This move highlights Meta's commitment to creating an agentic future where AI doesn't just respond, but actively thinks and plans on behalf of the user. In a move centered on global safety and security, Anthropic has launched Project Glasswing. This defensive AI coalition is a direct response to the growing threat of autonomous cyber attacks. At the heart of this initiative is the Claude Mythos model, a specialized variant of their flagship AI tuned specifically for defensive operations. Project Glasswing is not just a software release, it is a collaborative framework. Anthropic has committed $100 million in usage credits to its partners, including industry giants AWS and NVIDIA. The primary objective is to deploy Claude Mythos to identify and patch vulnerabilities within critical infrastructure before they can be exploited by adversarial actors. By empowering defense organizations with high-order reasoning capabilities, Anthropic aims to tip the balance of power in cybersecurity back toward the defenders, creating a more resilient digital landscape in an era where software attacks are becoming increasingly sophisticated. Turning to hardware news, ARM Holdings is making a historic pivot from a designer of intellectual property to a manufacturer of its own silicon. The company has debuted the ARM AGI CPU, marking its first production silicon specifically tailored for the age of agentic AI. Built on a cutting-edge 3-nanometer process, this chip is a powerhouse of efficiency and performance, featuring 136 cores. What sets the ARM AGI CPU apart is its optimization for the decode stage of AI inference, the critical phase where agents must make rapid-fire decisions based on incoming data. This hardware pivot suggests that the future of AI will not just be won in the cloud, but on specialized hardware capable of orchestrating complex agentic tasks locally and at massive scale. By controlling the silicon, ARM is aiming to define the performance standards for the next generation of autonomous devices. OpenAI is also refining its focus on the security sector with the announcement of a restricted cybersecurity tooling program. Under the banner of Trusted Access for Cyber, the organization is finalizing a specialized product powered by GPT 5.3 codecs. This model is engineered for automated vulnerability discovery, providing a tool that can scan codebases and identify security flaws at a speed and depth that human developers simply cannot match. To ensure these powerful tools are used ethically, OpenAI has implemented a rigorous vetting process, limiting access to approved defense organizations. Furthermore, the program includes $10 million in supporting credits to help these organizations integrate AI-driven security into their core operations, emphasizing a controlled and responsible deployment of highly capable AI that balances innovation with public safety. Meta is further expanding its influence in the commercial sector, with the launch of AI-driven shoppable Reels. This update represents a major expansion of Meta's Commerce Suite, integrating generative AI voiceovers that can localize advertisements into 22 different countries automatically. The system utilizes autonomous agent technology to provide real-time product optimization, meaning the AI can adjust the content of a reel based on viewer engagement and local market trends instantly. This move bridges the gap between social discovery and the final purchase, transforming the social media experience into a seamless, AI-curated marketplace. For advertisers, this means lower barriers to entry for global markets and more efficient conversion rates as the AI handles the heavy lifting of localization and targeting. Finally, Google has released Gemini 3.1 Flashlight, a model specifically engineered for high-volume enterprise workloads. In the competitive race for efficiency, Flashlight stands out with a massive 1 million token context window, allowing businesses to process vast amounts of documentation or long-form video in a single prompt. Perhaps most impressive is the pricing. At just 25 cents per million tokens, Google is making high-capability AI accessible for large-scale, real-time agent deployments. This model is designed to optimize both latency and cost, providing enterprises with the tools they need to run sophisticated AI agents without the prohibitive expenses usually associated with large language models. As the industry moves toward agentic workflows, Google's focus on affordability and context breadth could set a new standard for enterprise-grade AI applications. This has been your AI Products Weekly Update. See you next time.
Welcome to AI Advertising Weekly News. I'm your host, bringing you the latest breakthroughs and strategic shifts at the intersection of artificial intelligence and the global marketing landscape. Starting our coverage today, Google Ads has officially heralded a new era for digital marketing by moving its AI Max for Search Suite out of beta. Effective April 8, 2026, AI Max is now the foundational operating system for all search campaigns globally. This move signals a definitive departure from the traditional manual bidding and keyword-focused strategies that have defined the industry for over 2 decades. The platform now relies on keywordless signals, using deep learning to interpret the nuance of user intent and the context of queries rather than simple phrase matching. Central to this update is the launch of the Universal Commerce Protocol. This breakthrough allows for a conversational shopping experience where the user journey is entirely contained within the search interface. Shoppers can now ask questions, compare products, and complete secure checkout processes directly through the search chat, effectively eliminating the friction of external site navigation. For advertisers, this means a shift in focus from landing page optimization to the integrity of their data feeds and the conversational readiness of their brand assets. In a direct challenge to the established order of digital advertising, OpenAI has debuted its self-serve ads manager for ChatGPT. This transition marks a critical pivot from their previous managed service approach toward a scalable programmatic model. This new dashboard provides advertisers with unprecedented real-time campaign monitoring and the ability to adjust conversational parameters as they happen. OpenAI leadership is guiding investors toward a bold $100 billion annual revenue target by the year 2030, a goal they intend to reach by integrating ads as natural, conversational recommendations within the ChatGPT user flow. This strategy seeks to redefine the ad experience, not as a disruption, but as a helpful suggestion delivered at the moment of highest relevance. The move is already attracting major retail brands looking to capture the attention of an increasingly AI-native consumer base. Meanwhile, Meta Platforms is doubling down on short-form video with the release of Muse Spark. This sophisticated AI model is designed to automate the creation of Instagram Reels, transforming static product images and flat catalogs into dynamic platform-native video content. Muse Spark uses advanced generative video techniques to add motion, sound, and visual effects that align with trending aesthetics. However, the most significant change lies under the hood, a new retrieval system that fundamentally alters how these ads are served. Meta is moving away from the industry standard of fixed demographic targeting, such as age and gender, and is instead prioritizing creative diversity. The AI now analyzes which specific visual and narrative elements drive engagement, automatically iterating on the creative to find the most responsive audience segments. This shift effectively places the AI in the role of both creative director and media planner. The regulatory landscape is also seeing a flurry of activity as the August 2nd, 2026 deadline for the European Union AI Act rapidly approaches. Advertising agencies and tech firms across the globe are currently engaged in a massive compliance surge, auditing their automated systems to meet the strict new transparency requirements. Under the Act, any content generated or altered by AI, particularly deepfakes or highly realistic synthetic media, must be clearly and unmistakably labeled. Failure to comply is not just a reputational risk, but a financial one. The EU has established fines that can reach up to 7% of a company's total global turnover. This has led to the emergence of a new sector of legal and technical consultants dedicated solely to AI governance, as brands seek to protect themselves from the legal ramifications of non-transparent algorithmic deployment. In the creative sector, TikTok's Symphony AI suite has reached a significant milestone, with reports indicating a 70% reduction in the time required for brands to produce native content. The suite's most impactful feature is the introduction of AI digital avatars. These lifelike avatars can deliver scripted copy in 30 different languages, perfectly mimicking human gestures and vocal inflections. This technology is democratizing high-quality video production, enabling small and medium-sized businesses to execute global campaigns that would have previously required massive production budgets and localized teams. By lowering the barrier to entry, TikTok is ensuring that its ad ecosystem remains vibrant and diverse, even as the demand for high-volume content production continues to skyrocket. Finally, we turn to the retail giant Amazon, where the rollout of the Rufus AI shopping agent is fundamentally changing how sellers approach the platform. Amazon has recently updated its business solutions agreement to accommodate the unique requirements of AI-driven shopping, prompting a strategic pivot among third-party sellers. The focus has moved from traditional keyword stuffing to the concept of semantic authority. Sellers are now utilizing generative AI tools to rewrite their product listings, focusing on providing comprehensive, authoritative information that the Rufus agent can easily pass and recommend. This Rufus first optimization strategy recognizes that in a conversational commerce environment, the AI acts as the ultimate gatekeeper, and winning its recommendation is now more valuable than any search result rank. This has been your AI Advertising Weekly Update. See you next time.
Welcome to Voices on AI Weekly News. Today, we examine a fundamental restructuring of the artificial intelligence landscape as the industry's most influential figures pivot from laboratory exploration to large-scale industrialization and complex geopolitical positioning. Our lead story today concerns Google DeepMind CEO Demis Hassabis, who has issued a sobering assessment of the field's current trajectory. Hassabis warns that the era of curiosity-driven scientific exploration in AI is effectively over, replaced by what he describes as a ferocious and unforgiving commercial race. To remain competitive in this high-stakes environment, Alphabet is now targeting an unprecedented $185 billion in capital expenditure by 2026. This massive investment signals a significant shift away from purely academic breakthroughs toward the relentless pressures of product delivery and market dominance. For DeepMind, once considered the bastion of solving intelligence to solve everything else, the pressure is now on to turn that intelligence into immediate, commercialized value for its parent company. While Google doubles down on commercializing existing architectures, a seismic shift has occurred at the foundational level of AI research. Jan LeCun, following his high-profile departure from Meta, has officially launched Advanced Machine Intelligence Labs, or AMI Labs. Backed by $1.03 billion in initial funding, LeCun is taking a radical stance against the current industry standard. He has declared the current trajectory of large language models, or LLMs, a dead end. LeCun argues that transformers lack the essential world models necessary to navigate and understand physical reality, making them inherently limited in their pursuit of true intelligence. AMA Labs will instead focus on non-LLM architectures that aim to replicate biological learning and spatial reasoning, a bold bet that the future of machine intelligence lies far beyond the next token prediction models that currently dominate the market. This shift toward the physical world is mirrored in the latest strategic framework from NVIDIA. CEO Jensen Huang has reframed AI not merely as a software application, but as a five-layer industrial system. In this model, energy and physical infrastructure form the foundation of the entire industry. Huang's thesis suggests that the global build-out of AI is shifting reliance away from the traditional software engineer and toward a new class of essential workers: electricians, pipe fitters, and HVAC technicians who must maintain the cooling and power systems of massive data centers. This industrialization of AI represents a profound change in how we perceive the technology sector, placing it firmly within the realm of heavy industry and national infrastructure. At OpenAI, the challenges are as much political as they are technical. CEO Sam Altman is currently navigating a period of significant internal distrust following a detailed investigation by The New Yorker. Despite these internal tensions, Altman is moving forward with a bold public sector pitch. OpenAI has released a new policy blueprint calling for a massive government-subsidized initiative to build AI data center zones. This plan envisions the federal government underwriting the colossal energy costs required to power future models, effectively treating AI development as a public utility project. Critics argue this is an attempt to socialize the cost of private innovation, while Altman maintains it is necessary to keep the United States at the forefront of the technological frontier. Further complicating the security landscape is Anthropic's latest release, Claude Mythos. CEO Dario Amodei announced the model alongside a stark warning about its dual-use capabilities. Cybersecurity firms have already indicated that Claude Mythos can identify major software vulnerabilities significantly faster and more accurately than human experts. In an accompanying essay, Amodei cautions that while the technology is advancing at a breakneck pace, humanity currently lacks the political maturity and global coordination required to manage such powerful tools safely. He suggests that the window for establishing robust safety frameworks is closing as the capabilities of models like Mythos begin to outpace our defensive protocols. Finally, we look to the regulatory horizon in Europe. European Parliament President Roberta Metsola has confirmed that the EU will not slow its regulatory pace, despite mounting pressure from technology lobbyists. As the August 2nd deadline for AI Act compliance approaches, the EU is signaling that non-compliance will carry severe consequences. However, while the West grapples with regulation and massive capital expenditure, a different trend is emerging elsewhere. A frugal AI movement is gaining momentum across the global south. This movement prioritizes the development of low-energy, efficient models designed to run on offline hardware. These innovations seek to bypass the massive energy requirements and centralized control of Silicon Valley's giants, offering a vision of AI that is local, resilient, and accessible to regions without reliable power grids. As the industry transitions from a scientific race to an industrial one, the questions of who controls the infrastructure, who writes the rules, and who bears the costs will define the next decade of development. This has been your Voices on AI weekly update. See you next time.